One time he locked me in containers with his shipment of kids. There were kids in there that didn't speak English. There were kids that were sick and that were already dying. There were babies. There were babies that were 6 years old, and I'll never forget them just crying, and everybody was...
Sometimes I was carried into a job, dressed, and then placed in a room and waiting for my order because I couldn't move myself. We were in tunnels, was able to meet celebrities, actors, was able to speak with somebody that was so cocky. And I remember telling him, I know you from Look Who's Talking, that's all. And I remember everybody laughing at me because I was 15 and I'm like, the only thing that I know you from, John Travolta, is Look Who's Talking.
The DOJ released a video that at first everybody said they couldn't find a video of Cassie. They couldn't find it. It didn't exist. You saw one clip, and then you saw DOJ released another clip to the news. So the DOJ had that clip to begin with. So the people who are telling you that they don't have the Epstein file, what other way do you want me to explain that? Like, okay, so testify. Nope, because listen. Nope, because the attorney on Diddy's side is corrupt. You know that, right? Who's going to defend someone that they know did?
Hold on to your teacups, because Allie Carter just came back swinging, and she's not holding anything back. After weeks of silence, she's dropping bombshells that could shake the whole case wide open. From claims of Diddy bribing jurors with millions to hush money being funneled through churches tied to Hollywood elites. This isn't just drama. This is straight-up scandal. And it's getting messier by the second. The justice system allegedly rigged. The witnesses silenced. And the victims still waiting for justice. So buckle up, because the tea Allie's serving piping hot. And somebody's definitely about to get burned.
Lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit. Because they told you the same thing. And now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. About him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early. Okay?
Bookmark it.
Trust me. I'm saying, I'm just trying to help y'all understand. You stay with me? I'm trying to help you understand. Repeat that. Because I'm not saying this is what happened. If there's a round of kids, it's the trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person, so they can take a remote and turn that person off. There is a third arrest that is coming with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming. I knew it was coming when I made sure there were sworn and legal affidavits already ready 6 to 8 months ago. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be actions and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it.
Allie Carter just came back from the shadows and dropped a massive bomb. She claims Diddy paid a jaw-dropping $50 million to make that RICO charge disappear, and the justice system might be more rigged than we ever imagined. According to Allie, Diddy just didn't lawyer up. He allegedly used the same playbook he's used for years. We're talking hush money, bribes, and fake charity donations funneled through a church.
You guys are saying, I told you, the justice system is rigged. I don't know how many ways people need to say that, see it for themselves, research it, dig on it, and not understand that the justice system is rigged. And we've been saying that since the beginning. We went through court cases. We went through private investigators. This is how we have the insurance and the documents and the things and the receipts that we have, because we have been through this so many times before, where the victim is the one who gets the most.
And get this, there's even buzz that the Kardashians might be tangled up in this mess too. I know, wild, right? So here's what people are saying. Back when Diddy got arrested, instead of relying solely on legal defense, he allegedly started sending money to the families of jurors. And he didn't send it straight up. That would be way too obvious. Nope. These payments were masked as charity donations sent through a church that's already been accused of shady stuff in the past. And guess who's connected to it? Kris Jenner and her girls. This church drama isn't even new. Remember when people started to side-eye the California Community Church? That's the one Kris Jenner supposedly started, where members had to pay $1,000 a month and fork over more than 10% of their earnings, everyone thought it was just a clever tax dodge for the Kardashians. But now insiders claim it went deeper than taxes. Allegedly, that church has been used to funnel money to keep victims of powerful celebrities quiet, and Diddy's name is at the top of that list. The mastermind behind the scenes? Lou Taylor. You've probably heard that name before. She managed Diddy, Justin Bieber, and yes, the Kardashians too. She also sits on the board of that church. Allegedly, she set up a whole system where big payouts could be disguised as religious donations. But really, they were hush payments. That's the tea Allie is spinning. And the plot thickens. Right before the raid on Diddy's properties, Kim Kardashian unfollowed him. Why? Some say she knew what was coming. Lou Taylor, allegedly Diddy's manager, is also on the board of Hillsong Church Home. So now we've got religion, celebrities, and secret money all mixed up. And if that wasn't messy enough, Kris allegedly had her daughters tithing to this same church, which some believe was just a way to quietly funnel even more money into the slush fund. Allie and others are calling it a full-on operation, one that's hiding behind faith to pay people off and protect powerful names. The speaker in one clip made it clear that all of this is allegedly based on deep dives and sources they couldn't fully confirm. But the dots, they're connecting a little too neatly.
So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy, he was a woman.
So now people are digging into Lou Taylor, and the story just keeps getting messier. A lot of folks thought that she was a man at first. But surprise, Lou is a woman, married, and super powerful in the entertainment industry. And the deeper people look, the darker things start to seem. She's not just some background manager either. She's the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment, and in the industry they call her a business manager icon. But behind that polished title, she's been tied to some of the most disturbing conservatorship cases in Hollywood, including Britney Spears. Apparently, Lou had a huge role in Britney's conservatorship nightmare. And it didn't stop there. Michael Lohan, Lindsay Lohan's dad, once accused Lou and Dina Lohan of trying to get Lindsay under a conservatorship too, all to control her money. Sounds like a pattern, doesn't it?
Okay.
Bookmark it.
Trust me. I'm saying I'm just trying to help y'all understand. You stay with me? I'm trying to help you understand. Repeat that. Because I'm not saying this is what happened. If there's a round of kids, it's the trafficker. P. Diddy gets a round of kids. Let's say that round of kids had Justin Bieber in it. There's contracts, okay? There's contracts for codes within that person. So they can take a remote and turn that person off. Britney Spears, when they want to. Lindsay Lohan, when they want to. Amanda Bynes, when they want to, okay? So let's say there's a contract for Justin Bieber. When P. Diddy has a hold of Justin Bieber, he now owns half of those codes.
And here's another twist. Lou Taylor was reportedly sued back in 2021 for employment discrimination in connection to the Astroworld tragedy. So yeah, the red flags are flying everywhere. She's been accused of taking extreme control over her clients' lives, especially Britney's, after stepping in as her business manager. People say she was the one pulling the strings, running the finances, and basically controlling everything behind the scenes. Creepy, right? Now, here's where it connects back to Diddy. According to Allie Carter, Diddy allegedly used the same strategy as Lou, bribery and control, to swing his trial in his favor. Allie's saying he paid off jurors to make sure that massive RICO charge vanished. And just like that, it did. But Allie didn't stop with just exposing the bribes. She also slammed the prosecutors for keeping quiet about the most horrifying part, what Diddy allegedly did to kids. She said she was supposed to testify, but the moment they realized she planned to speak about the children, they dropped her. And not just her, she claims hundreds of other witnesses were shut out too. That's not just suspicious, that's downright chilling. In one of her clips, Allie points out that there were so many witnesses lined up, but the prosecution didn't even scratch the surface. She called out Maureen Comey, the lead prosecutor in New York, for never once mentioning the children. According to her, a lot of people wanted to testify, but the system didn't want that kind of truth getting out. She didn't hold back on calling out celebrities either. She dragged Lil Boozy and Funk Flex for constantly defending Diddy and going after Cassie. Allie reminded everyone that Cassie was just 19 when Diddy allegedly started pursuing her, and Allie herself was only 15 when she says he essayed her in his mansion. They were minors too, but back then no one cared. Now that Diddy is facing the heat, suddenly everyone wants to protect his children from the spotlight. Allie's point, where was that same energy when it was her and Cassie? When they were just kids trying to survive what was being done to them? Allie Carter didn't sugarcoat anything. She made it clear that this whole case was never really about justice. According to her, the system is completely rigged. She's been saying it for years, and honestly, it's getting harder to argue with her. Victims are always the ones who get dragged through the mud, while the rich and powerful walk away untouched. Allie said they've gone through court documents, hired private investigators, and gathered receipts and insurance papers, but none of it seems to matter. The backlash still lands hardest on the victims, not the ones causing the damage. And she really went in on the prosecutors, too. Allie accused them of helping Diddy behind the scenes. She said it was never about locking him up. It was all just a performance, a so-called humiliation ritual to make him look bad in public while secretly making sure he dodged the most serious charges. According to her, the feds had known about his alleged crimes since way back in the early 2000s, but only started moving when Cassie's lawsuit went public and made them look bad. That's when the scramble began. Not to get justice, but to save face. Allie believes the government came for Diddy just to cover their own mistakes. She said everyone from hotel workers to managers to bodyguards knew what was going on. Hotel staff were allegedly cleaning up after those infamous freak-off parties. Managers were deleting surveillance footage. Bodyguards were reportedly being paid to blow up cars or even snatch people up. And everyone stayed silent because the checks were fat and steady. Even the district attorney tried to deny it all until lawsuits started coming in like a flood and made the silence impossible to keep. She also pointed out something shady with the DOJ. Remember when they said that there was no footage of Cassie being attacked? Then one video appeared, and now another one just got released? So yeah, they had the video the whole time. Makes you wonder, if they were sitting on that, what else are they hiding? Allie called out the same people claiming they don't have the Epstein files. She said they're lying point blank. People like Pam Bondi claimed they only had a tiny bit of info. But this case with Diddy is showing the same pattern. First they claim they've got nothing, then the footage drops. That's not incompetence, that's a cover-up.
Lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, because they told you the same thing. And now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. About him beating the hell out of females. I knew about the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early.
And let's talk about the cycle. At first someone says, okay, maybe Diddy did this one bad thing. Then another claim drops, and another. And people start saying, maybe all of it's true. How many times does that have to happen before people finally stop giving him the benefit of the doubt? Think about how many celebrities and insiders admitted stuff like, I left the party early, or yeah, I felt something was off. They knew underage guests were there. They knew harsh actions were happening. They knew people were being hurt, and still they walked away and stayed quiet. The truth is, they all had chances to stop him, and they all chose the money over morals. Every single time. Let's talk about the people behind the scenes, the ones literally cleaning up the chaos. Allie Carter pointed out that even the maids weren't innocent in all of this. Imagine walking into a penthouse covered in blood and broken glass, and just scrubbing it clean like it's business as usual. No questions, no reports, just silence, because the money made it easier to look the other way. Then there's the hotel manager. According to Allie, he heard the screams. He knew exactly what was going down behind those doors, and he had access to the security footage. But instead of stepping up, he allegedly took the hush money and played dumb. Back then, if anyone asked the hotel staff what happened, they would have all claimed they didn't know a thing. That's not being neutral. That's help covering up the truth. And we can't forget hotel security either. Allie said they had eyes on the footage. Diddy dragging someone down a hallway, kicking her, hitting her, and still they said nothing. Paid off just like the rest. She even called them out as guilty by association. But it doesn't end there. Allie didn't let the FBI off the hook either. She said the feds knew about Diddy's alleged behavior for years and still chose to look the other way. That's next level neglect. Now, when Allie found out Diddy might actually walk free, she nearly lost it. All the trauma, the pain, the years of trying to heal, it came flooding back. She said the hardest part was realizing that someone who hurt her so deeply might escape justice all over again. She was heartbroken. She cried. And in her own words, "Y'all going anywhere? Whoever tried just got a target painted on them. And whoever lied was exposed. I just wanted someone to love me, not for what they could do to me. I'm not a puppet. I'm not a toy. I'm not a punching bag. And that's all I ever wanted." She added, "I've been quiet for so long. I try to stay calm, but sometimes I just ask, what else can I do? Nothing."
Lying to you. The ones that are telling you, Pam Bondi, that she only had a little bit, because they told you the same thing, and now you're seeing it with the Sean Combs case. About the parties going on with multiple people, so it wasn't just Sean Combs. I knew about all of that, but I left early, so guilty. How many people did you hear say about Cassie Ventura that I knew that I knew that it was wrong. I knew what he was doing. The case that is on right now that you guys are seeing is out of New York City. Anywhere. Whoever tried just got painted a target on it. And whoever lied was exposed. I am grateful for the amount of people.
Anyone who knows Allie knows she's always been especially protective of kids. And that's why this case has hit her so hard. It's not just about Diddy being free, it's about the children who might not ever get justice. A while back, Allie even spoke out about how some of these kids were allegedly exploited and used in horrific rituals by Hollywood elites chasing youth and power. Yes, that's how dark this story gets.
I fear people aren't going to learn a damn thing from this Diddy situation. Like, all the conversations I'm having sound so ass backwards. Like, you can blame the system.
Right.
We can say the feds overcharged him. We can say he was railroaded. We can say it was a shakedown.
Crazy.
That's
Shakedown
what they're
is
saying.
crazy
I mean, this
too.
is the language that
doing
they're
the
using.
railroading.
This is the language that they're using. They're saying railroaded. They're saying it was a shakedown. But at what point are we going to have conversations about how he gave this system something to shake?
She claimed these children were chained, treated badly, and forced into unimaginable situations during rituals. She didn't drop specific names or places, but she made it clear she saw these horrors herself while working in the industry. And sadly, most of these kids didn't make it out. The ones who did, they were forever changed. Let's be real, most people aren't ready to hear just how disturbing these allegations really are. We're talking about stuff that sounds straight out of a horror film, but according to Allie, it's the reality some children were forced to live through. She says exploitation and maltreatment go far deeper than most people want to believe. And the worst part? The silence. The system built to protect these kids, they failed them. Instead, they protected the powerful. Allie described it as psychological torture, designed not just to hurt, but to keep people quiet, to erase their voices before anyone could hear them. This isn't just tea, it's a warning. Because if everything Allie's saying is even partly true, then the system isn't just broken, it's working exactly how they built it, to keep the truth buried. Now here's where things get even darker. Allie Carter didn't hold back when she described the disturbing behavior of some people in Diddy's circle. According to her, there were individuals with twisted fixations, people who got away with disgusting acts, especially during these so-called private gatherings. She claimed that kids were harmed and humiliated in these spaces. And while none of it's been proven in court yet, Allie insists she saw it with her own eyes. This wasn't just some internet rumor. She says she lived through it.
After so many times at 13, I went into the hospital for a month for trying to kill myself. In that time of being in the hospital, I kept trying to talk to everybody. I kept trying to tell them, they were coming to me and saying, hey, you have to talk to us. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. I've tried to talk since I was a baby. I've exhausted everything and nothing is coming of it. There are people strategically placed everywhere. I was thrown into solitary confinement because of so many things that were going on within the hospital as well, that I was seeing for myself. And it's crazy because so many things were placed in my life that people know me before I know them. I was put into foster care at 13 after my time in the hospital. I thought that everything would calm down from there. I thought everything would be okay. I thought it was going to change and, I was going to be able to go to school and everything would be fine. And that was not the case either.
And let's be honest, her story is heartbreaking. She opened up about going through both physical and psychological maltreatment when she was still very young. She said that pain has stayed with her all this time, not just because of what happened to her, but because of how many people knew and stayed silent. She felt like a puppet, used and tossed aside by powerful people who never saw her as a human being. But now, she's done staying quiet. At one point, she completely broke down. Her voice cracked as she shared how all she ever wanted was to be loved for who she really was, not for what others could take from her. And hearing that, it hit hard. You could feel the years of pain behind every word, and honestly, you can't listen to her speak and not feel something.
Sitting there, but my teachers were bullying me as well. My teachers knew about what was going on. My teachers tried to participate in the things that were going on. They felt like if somebody else was hurting me, it wasn't a big deal if they take part in it. A major high school, one of the major high schools when I was 15, Carter High School in Fontana, California, was marking me present.
A lot of folks believe Allie's testimony could have flipped the entire case on its head, but instead of putting her on the stand, they left her out. Why? Some say the prosecutors didn't want the trial to spiral into something they couldn't control. Others think her truth was too raw, too real, something that would have caused an uproar the court wasn't ready to handle. Whatever the reason, it feels like a missed chance for real accountability. Still, the tide seems to be turning. People are paying attention now. Comments are pouring in from people saying they're praying for justice, especially for the kids. Others are giving Allie her flowers, saying they admire her courage and hope her story pushes the truth into the spotlight. And honestly, she deserves every bit of that support. This story just keeps getting darker, and Allie Carter's not letting up. Whether you believe every word or you're still connecting the dots, one thing's for sure. There's way more going on behind the scenes than they want us to know. If these claims are even half true, then justice hasn't just been delayed, it's been sold. But we want to hear from you. Do you think Allie was silenced on purpose? Is Diddy really pulling strings behind closed doors? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more of this unfiltered truth.